We're going to go to speakers. Student Success Act, the Student Success Initiative. So we're going to hear from folks from EOPS and from DSPS, and we also have folks that work in the faculty, that are faculty here at the college speaking.
Yeah, so as you all know, the school is in this accreditation crisis, and as a result, the school has focused all of its attention into making changes that will appease the Accreditation Commission. Consequently, some of these changes include laying off part-time counselors and staff, and include, exactly, boo, yeah, it also involves, cuts to student services, such as, the computer lab not being open until 10 p.m. but closing down really early. It also harms, library staff and, your ability and accessibility to libraries. And also what this does, it hurts the communities. The communities who need education and need City College the most are being squeezed out. As Chanel stated earlier, 2 years ago when I first started going to City College, this school had 110,000 students. Now, there's about 85,000 students. Still the largest community college, but 25,000 students are no longer here. And where do you think those students come from? Where do you think those students live? So, it's about the communities, it's about empowering communities. Because this is a pivotal time in just history in general. This is happening all across the country, all across the world. Attacks to education, attacks to the teachers, to the students, and the people who work in the schools. And it's time that we raise our opinions and our voices and show the administration and the forces that be that we are still here, that we still have a voice, we have an education, and we're going to utilize that education in order to see a more promising tomorrow, and so that our little cousins, our siblings, our children, grandchildren will be able to live in San Francisco or anywhere in the Bay Area, in the United States, whatever, without fearing that they won't get an education, that they won't get opportunities, that they won't be able to succeed in life. That shouldn't be the case, and therefore we're here today to fight for that. Because right now it isn't between all of us, but the entire world is watching. What we do at City College and how the students organize here will inspire people all across the world to fight back against forces of austerity, privatization, and...
So I was asked to speak today, and I was trying to figure out what to talk about. I teach courses in African American history, also African history, so what came to mind was trying to stress the importance of the role that you play as youth. And if you remember the Civil Rights Movement, and I'm not talking about what you see in that Hollywood sanitized version in the movies, where, the FBI are the good guys, where, in Washington everyone's on the side of civil rights. When you know the real story, then you know that the vanguard of that movement was youth. The foot soldiers of that movement, the people who were responsible for making change day in, day out, were youth. They were organized in a lot of different ways, but primarily in the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. Day in, day out, they faced injustice. Day in, day out, they risked their lives, and some of them lost their lives in order to change the world. This struggle is a struggle, and I'm not talking about simply what's happening here. It's easy enough, and in fact, those who want to kind of deflect and trivialize what's going on here, make it an issue of just budgets and, greedy teachers and, recalcitrant this and that. People want to do that. They make it simply an issue of CCSF. This is a national issue. It's a worldwide issue. As I heard Michal speaking earlier, what's happening in Europe, what's happening in Chile, what's happening in Puerto Rico, that's the same struggle that's being waged here. And the significance of CCSF in this struggle is that CCSF is the largest public institution, largest community college in the country. It has the reputation among faculty and others across the state and across the country as being organized in the most democratic principles of any community college. And if they can bring down CCSF, then they can do it anywhere and they can do it everywhere. And then you have to ask, what kind of education will you receive? What kind of education will your children receive? And what it is that they're trying to turn this, what they're trying to make this into. So the struggle here is it is of essential. It's as important a struggle as it could be. Your role is a historic role because this struggle is a historic struggle. There are those who talk about the dangers involved. You know, the faculty have various blogs that they kind of, you know, go back and forth on. And, you know, those who rightfully are feeling, you know, fear, worry, talk about the danger involved in what we're doing, or the danger that we might lose accreditation. And that danger is real. It's not imaginary. But there's a basic question that we have to ask, and it boils down to this basic question: is what is happening here just or unjust? If it's just, then we support it. And we don't play games. We support it clearly, without equivocation, you know, and we and stand our ground. If what's happening is unjust here, there's only one option, and that's to fight. And there's danger. There's danger. But you see, there's no courage if there's no danger, right? There's no struggle if there's no resistance. There's no struggle if there's no danger. I mean, if there's no danger, it's like asking, you know, going in and demanding a cup of coffee at Starbucks. That's not a struggle. But when you face the powers that be, and when they seem to be arrayed in such numbers against us, you know, and we stand anyway, that's what struggle is, and that's what courage is. And so I commend especially the courage of these students.
So I want to give it up to everybody that came out here, and I know you guys could be doing something else with your time, but you guys took the time to come here to invest not only your time but your minds, knowledge and feedback on what we're all struggling. And as the professor before me spoke, said that we are in struggles, and life is going to be like that until we die. Then we'll be able to rest in peace. But what I want to talk about today, a few things, is prisons and schools. Which are important to you? School. I can't hear you. All right. What would you like to see in the future for you or our next generation? To witness more successful people graduating, receiving degrees, or simply being locked up, who are becoming mentally ill from incarceration, and this country being in more debt than ever? Okay. Yes, we want education, not incarceration, right? Yeah. All right, so real quick, how much money is going to prisons and schools? According to California Common Sense Research Group, states that California is spending 1,370% more on prisons today compared to 1980. Boo! California spends $592 million on corrections in 1980. That spending has jumped to $9.2 billion in 2011. And so salaries for faculties in schools have decreased 13%. At the same time, prison guard salaries have reached a record high, and the average salary is somewhere anywhere to $100,000, if not more, for a correctional officer. A professor who teaches just a basic lecture class receives about $45,000, $46,000 a year. Boo! So professors are making less than correctional officers. And so we're seeing that our schools and prisons are in competition with each other. And many schools are being shut down right now. And many prisons are being built. And so we're getting frustrated when we see that. And that's why a lot of our classes are being cut down. A lot of people who want to get a degree, it takes them longer, you know, because either the class is not being offered or the class is just simply just overcrowded. And so that takes many of you guys even longer to graduate and transfer. So that's something just to think about, right? And those are some of the demands that we want. Also, if we can help out our prison system, it will be through education. Yeah. By educating our people, they will have access to education. It will definitely prevent people being incarcerated. And as we want to look our society, which way is it heading? Is spending more money on keeping prison systems going instead of educating our citizens? And today more youth are spending time locked up instead of being in front of a desk. This is happening now, and the age range of people incarcerated are the ages between 20 and 24. That is a common age for a person to be in college, not in prison. And so our valuable tax dollars are being spent on this prison system. And it's also putting this country in our state in more debt. And so I wanted to give a real brief. I was born and raised here in San Francisco. Love this city, love the weather, love the people. Born and raised also in the Mission District, where it's been real tough. And for me growing up here, I was exposed to gangs and I sold drugs before. Because I didn't have no other way of this being taught to me as a young age and being influenced of the people in my environment. As they say, you are a product of your environment, and that's what I was. And our environments in our neighborhoods here in San Francisco and all across the nation globe, it's not positive. There's no hope. And people keep imprisoning us. And so I began to get into this lifestyle. And it wasn't until I first came to City College, I began to turn my life around. This school helped me. This school educated me. And I love the professors for that. And so I love coming to school now, because I always say a person who is not educated, they're in a state of ignorance. And through education, you'll be able to expand and open your mind and understand that education is power. And it's knowledge. And so that's why these politicians are afraid of that. They don't want us to be educated, because then we'll be occupying their damn offices and also going up in their damn offices and taking their damn positions. While they're taking their nice beautiful trips and flights with our money. So we want to take our money back in control. So that's why I want to rally up here, get the energy flowing, and continue to fight for a good cause. But understand what you're fighting for. Understand that and educate yourself through that. Read those reports. Read what's going on with their accreditation. Don't go by what I'm telling you or what they're all telling you. You need to read it for yourself and educate yourself. So when you go in front of these people next week, you know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say that. And the end, next week, we have a Black History Month event. I hope to see all you guys come through at the Diego Revere Theater from 2 to 5. We're going to talk about different knowledge of Timbuktu, of the Nation of Islam, and Africa's presence before Christopher Columbus. This is also knowledge that we want to educate.
To stop and look at the person next to you right now. I'm not joking. Look at them in the eye. Everyone here is very, very apathetic and angry, and we need to change the narrative today. The fear and the anger that we've been put in needs to be changed into passion, because we are beating heart of this school. Without us, nothing happens at this school.
That's right.
The student workers at this school, nothing happens without them. Hi, I'm Sharon Shatterly. I'm a lower class working citizen, student worker, and I was tested into E1 mathematics, English 93. I've been here for 4 years trying to make it to trig because I want to teach mathematics to people in E1. I'm tutoring right now, and I'm working beside many classified staff. I'm a person who knows what it's like if my superiors are fired. We student workers are not going to be the band-aids to fix this system.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right? You have rights as federal work-study students. You have rights as lab aides. Lab aides is not a promotion. It means that you are cheaper than the classified staff that you are being put in the place of.
That's right.
I want you to know that you have rights, and you need to know that when the word strike happens, where you stand, get educated, and know where to go.
Place in my heart, I came here as a re-entry student, and I came back to major in urban studies. I want to transfer out. But where I came from, my community, it's very hard to get into school to pursue your educational goal. So that's what we want to protect at this college. And we're afraid that some of these changes are going to squeeze out students that are disenfranchised, that are low income, that are working class folks. Because this is the largest working class institution in our nation, one of the largest in the nation. 85,000 students. At one point, City College of San Francisco had 110,000 students. 110,000. We were the largest. I still believe we are the largest community college in the nation at this point. So this is a serious thing, you guys. There are major changes that are happening at our school, and we deserve our voice to be heard. So we're going to kick it off with some chanting and to get the energy up and to talk about what we're going to do today. So who wants to help us lead a chant? A chant for the students, to send some good energy for the fight that we have ahead, because this is a hard fight. We are not alone in this. You got a chant?
Yeah.
All right, all right. Who else wants to come up and help lead the chant with us?
All right. The students united will never be defeated. The students united will never be defeated.
2. Organize town hall forums at all campuses so that students can have their voices heard. What do you guys think about that? 3. Make a public statement calling for Prop A funds to be used for education as voters intended.
Exactly.
Call on City Hall to give CCSF a bridge loan until Prop A and Prop 30 funds become available. 4. This is the last demand on the Chancellor. Speak out against CCSF being put on show cause without prior sanction. Call on the Department of Education.
Lessons, knowing that I have to turn in my lessons on time, and I'm not able with the hours of time cutting. It's tearing me up. I'm not able to even be pushed forward for my education. It's tearing down my education. It's cutting back. I am really suffering, and everybody else is suffering for their education. I feel that they should not stop our education. Give us our hours for DSP and our regular classes, and let all our classes stand so we can continue up getting our education. We reach for a higher education goals here, and we stand at City College for higher education, and we will not stand for them cutting our classes or our faculty or our student, which we have to be pushed out and transferred to another school and start all over and lose all our credits of hard work. I've been working at City College for a couple semesters, and I've been working hard not to lose anything that I've been working for, to be pushed to another school who don't know me, and I don't know the grounds. I don't know the faculty, I don't know the counselor, I don't know who the treasurer department is, I don't know nobody. So you forcing us out and then leaving us uneducated that way, it's going to make it hard for us to survive for the future. So please help us keep our school open.
Gulf Street City College, and at this point I am so upset because due to the fact of the budget cut, we done lost good teachers. Now they're talking and closing the school down completely, okay? And I don't feel that it is totally fair. Due to this cut, I'm just so overly whelmed about this, I'm choking. Okay, so we need to stand for our school. Yeah. Let's not let them take it from us, wipe it from up under our feet. Let's stand strong, walk strong, speak strong, and demand our right.
How about stop the cuts?
No cuts, no fees. Education should be free, no cuts, no fees. Should be free, no cuts, no fees. What? Education should be free, no cuts, no fees. Education.
School, right? Their plan is to downsize this school, make it so that it's not accessible, so it's no longer a community.
Already, but I'm back, and I'm not leaving because I think that I deserve a right to a public education.
That's right.
Department of Education to take action to stop the ACCJC's misuse of the accreditation process. So here's the situation we're in right now. These are the demands we've been fighting for. These are not new demands. It's come to this, though. And what we'd like to see is the Chancellor come directly to speak with us and to meet our demands. How do you guys feel about that? Action today in a peaceful, non-violent way, but we have to take action to make our voices heard because it's been ignored. Do you feel ignored?